Yo, what's going on, everybody? Back for this Tuesday slate. Had a lot of views on yesterday's video. Hopefully, if you guys watched it, you guys took my advice for the hitters that I gave out because they carried the lineup yesterday. Cash games were extremely low scoring, but Lindor and Ramirez were my favorite two plays on the slate, and they were both very low owned in cash games and GPP contests, and they both continued to dominate. Lindor hit 2 home runs. He finished with 40 DraftKings points. Ramirez continued a strong game with 2 doubles. Judge, who I also had in the core, got a home run. Didn't get the pitchers right at all, but a lot of the pitchers just didn't perform well. But still a bit of cash easily with the hitters coming through the trio. So let's get on to today's slate. Please be sure to drop a like on the video and make sure you're subscribed to the channel as well. We got a nice 12-game slate today. And today, definitely, I want to pay up for hitters once again with cores. Really on tap for today. I faded cores completely. Didn't want to target anybody against those 2 good lefties. But today, I definitely want to get cores exposure. I also think the Phillies are a really good stack today against Alex Cobb. And also the Astros against Beebe and Zerker. There's a bunch of teams that are in great spots. So pitching, going cheap. We don't have a lot of good arms at the top either. But I do like 2 pitchers from the same game. In fact, some of you might already know what game I'm talking about. But let's start it off with Clayton Richard at 6,800. It's a great price tag for Richard. He's just been really consistent. I'm not sure why his price tag has come down by almost $1,000. From his last start, he has a great matchup here. So much better matchup than his last couple of starts. They going into Oakland in that great pitcher ballpark. It's just a great spot for him. An elite ground ball pitcher. They tend to excel in Oakland. And he's just been super consistent, minus a start or 2 here and there, as you see. 20-point upside, even has 30-point upside, which he flashed against St. Louis. And against Oakland, this team is not great against lefties at all. They have a couple of good hitters. But overall, as a team, they're just 26th in the league in batting average, only hitting .231 against lefties, and they are middle of the pack in slugging percentage. So I think it's a great spot for Clayton Richard. It's a great spot for him in Oakland. I like him a lot. Mentioned 2 pitchers from the same game, so obviously could go to the other side with Chris Bassett at just 6,300. Great spot for him in Oakland against the Padres. The Padres are one of the worst offenses in the league. I've been stacking against them pretty much the whole year. It's been working out pretty much every time. I think it's going to work out today as well with Bassett. Very cheap at 6,300. Does have good upside though. 2 out of his 4 starts, he's gotten over 22 DraftKings points. The other 2, one was a tough matchup against the Angels, and then one he just didn't have a good game in Chicago. But back home in Oakland in that huge ballpark, and the Padres are just the best matchup for him against righties. They are 27th in the league in batting average, only hitting .234, and the Padres are also dead last in slugging percentage, only slugging .357 against righties. So in the Coliseum, I love both of these pitchers. Both are under 7,000 and both have upsides over 20. So if those both pitchers work out, we should be looking good for this slate because we're able to afford pretty much any hitter that we want. And there are a lot of hitters that are high priced that are in great spots, especially cores. So let's start it off first base with Brandon Belt at 5,500. Belt has been killing righties this whole season. He's hitting .319 versus righties. Slugging percentage is 600. It's a great spot for him. Has so much power. Going into Coors Field, just a great matchup here. At shortstop, let's go with his teammate Brandon Crawford. Another guy that has been killing right-handed pitching this season. They get a great matchup against the Rockies pitcher that is a relief pitcher that has an ERA over 6. He should get shelled in Coors. And Crawford, as I mentioned, has been killing righties. He has a .333 batting average against righties with a .506 slugging percentage. And he's been in great form recently. So I love Brandon Crawford here. Last 10, he's hitting .316, slugging over 600 during that stretch. And on the road in Coors Field, can't get a much better matchup for Crawford. In the outfield, I started off with Odubel Herrera at 4,700. Herrera is a streaky hitter, to say the least. But when he's on, he's on. It's a great spot for him against Alex Cobb. I like the Phillies stack. They're going to be sneaky. They're going to be low-owned as well. But Alex Cobb has absolutely been murdered against lefties this year and righties too, but especially lefties. He's given up a 350 batting average and a 580 slugging, 2 lefties this year. And Herrera, throughout his career, has been a great hitter against righties. And although he's not in a great form recently, we saw that just about a week ago how hot he was, where he had home runs in 5 straight games, 6 of 7. So at home in Philly, where he hits the ball really well, it's just a great spot for Herrera here, and I like him a lot at 4,700 as a sneaky play. And then finally, let's go Carlos Gonzalez, 4,200. I love Gonzalez here against Stratton. Carlos Gonzalez is a great hitter at home, an elite hitter at home with a 392 batting average and a 612 slugging. He's also killed righties throughout his career. This year, numbers aren't great, but still above average. He has a 281 batting average and a 477 slugging percentage. Rockies are also implied for the ton of runs on the slate, so 4,200 cleanup hitter, not too shabby at a price of only 4,200. So we still have 4,300 left to build this. If you want the full lineup, you can go to the website, thedfsprocess.com. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Good luck today.